Okay, folks, so let's add a few more things into our poster by going to the CSS, and I'm going to still style out the main identifier here. So I'm going to give it a width, okay, and it's possible, like, you're going to do things differently. Oh, I'm missing my semicolon there. That wasn't blue, so I knew there was a problem. Let's try, you can try out what you like. This is going to be based on like what you find appealing, but I think I kind of like this, so I'll keep working with that. But notice that when you do it, the font is not centered, right? So the box is all the way to the left, all right? So there's a couple different ways you can do that. You can say margin, you can start out with margin 0 auto, and remember we talked about margin, that makes it 0 margin between the top and bottom, and then auto will look at the space it has remaining from the left and right and then center it within that space. So it's super great in order, this code is super great to center it horizontally, but it's not so great in terms of like giving it some margin, some breathing room at the top. So I'm going to, instead of putting 0, let's go ahead and put 50 px. Okay, and again, your stuff may look different depending on like your numbers here could look different, and I'm just going to play around with it until I get something that looks vertically centered. Okay, so to me that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to put a border on here so I can see. So let's say border, and let's try 3px. I'm going to try this border called an inset and see how you guys like it. Inset, and I'll say dark. You know what? Let me go with goldenrod for a second and let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's kind of nice because it kind of matches this moss up here. And let me make it thicker so you can see what this inset is. So inset is just another type of border, and it's meant to look like more three-dimensional. Yeah, so you see like this corner right here, it changes the different shades, kind of looks more three-dimensional. So if you like that, there's also outset you can try. Remember, there's also dashed and dotted and solid that you can try. Now I'm going to add some padding. So again, it's going to be up to you and what you like. So that's, again, gives the breathing room between the text all around. I like a little bit more padding, honestly. Like, to me, I like a lot of room in there, and I can dial back, can give a little, I can change the size of the fonts a little bit. Okay, so that's looking a little bit better to me. I really like that. The last thing I want to add is a text shadow. Okay, you don't have to do a box shadow, but let's add a text shadow. This CSS3 Gen is a good way to like generate some stuff. And I'm going to add a text shadow that, let's see if I can add one that's a little bit more black. So the closer you get to 255, no, 255 is white, sorry. The closer you get to 000 with all the R, G, and B values, the closer it's going to be to black. And I want to blur it out a little bit, and I want to make the distance a little bit closer. Okay, so this is the code that I need, and I'm going to go and add this to my text, and I will show you what this looks like. Okay, so it's really subtle, the change, and I can barely see it. So I might even want to get like the dark goldenrod color and maybe just use that to use, like if I add like a color that's more like this, that might be a little bit more appealing. So you can try to blend it in with another color that you had right there. Oh, and you know what? Look, it's gonna, there's a way to get a color picker when you do this, and I can never figure it out, like a color wheel. Okay. It's a little bit better. I might want to make it like so that it really is like more yellow. But for right now, that's pretty good, and I'm going to let you guys kind of work on this. So that is how to add a text shadow and how to get everything in the center using margin and padding. So continue to work on your project until you get it just the way you want it. All right. Oh, I'm going to do actually one final thing, which is I'm going to align it to the right, and you can decide whether or not you want to do that. but I kind of like to see James Baldwin's name like on the right. That to me looks a little bit better. Okay.